Hey guys, my name is Lizzie and welcome to another art video. Today I'm doing a digital speed paint of Claire Fraser from the Outlander series. This was taken from one of the actresses' shots, so this isn't necessarily entirely from my own brain, but I'm still learning, so I figure that's okay. It doesn't really look like her in the face. I didn't try and emulate the actress in the face. What is the actress's name? Katriana Balfe? I don't know how to pronounce her name, but yeah, I didn't try and emulate her in the face. I just kind of wanted her as a reference photo to do the clothing and stuff. So I just did a basic sketch layer where I mapped out what I wanted it to look like, and then I go in with a second sketch layer. This isn't the line art, with a blue, and just working out the intricacies of everything. Yeah, like I said, the face doesn't really look like her, but it could definitely look like someone's image of Claire, I think. If you guys don't know, Outlander is a book series, and it's also a TV series, and currently there are 8 books that have been released, and Gabaldon, who's the author, is writing the 9th. I personally am on book 7. I finished book 6 yesterday and I started book 7. I absolutely love the series. I think book 6 was definitely the best one so far. I thought it was very, very well done, and I was actually listening to the audiobook for Outlander while I painted this. I'd been reading so much on my iPad, and also I listened to a bit of it when I did another speed paint that's on my YouTube channel as well. So I really was in the mood to do something Outlander related. So I did Claire. I did a few sketches in my sketchbook of some Outlandery things, but I decided to do an actual digital paint of her because why not? The one thing about this, which every single time you do something, like you do a piece of art or whatever, you learn each time you do it, and you look back at it. And I think one of the great things about doing speed paints as a YouTuber is that you get to see your process and then learn, what you did wrong or what you could have done better next time, but actually seeing your physical process. And I recommend that even if you aren't an art YouTuber, then finding some way to record your screen and watch back your process if you're a digital artist, or maybe film yourself if you're doing it traditionally. I think that's a really great idea, and there are lots of free programs in which you can do that. I personally use OBS, which is open broadcast software, which you can just Google and learn how to use, and it records your screen, and I think it's a really good reference tool to look back on and see, because there are lots of things in this video watching back, and I've watched it back. I watched it back when I first made it, which was a couple nights ago, and then watching it back now, I can notice different things that I want to change. And one of the big things is that I did this at 2 a.m, so I really didn't spend a lot of time on it. I think overall this took me about an hour and a half, maybe an hour and 45 minutes. So it really didn't take me that long in terms of like how much a digital painting of this kind of size should take you. And it's definitely not it's not intricate. There are definitely parts of it which I think a lot of it is just that I don't have the confidence to be like, yeah, I can totally do that really cool pattern on her corset, and instead I'm like, well, I don't have the skill level to do it, so I'm not even going to try. And I think I really need to break out of that and make mistakes and just learn things really. So yeah, that's that. Did the line art, trying to elongate the dress a little bit, because at the very beginning you saw it was quite short, kind of looked like a knee length or a 3/4 length, and now I'm trying to make it long. Claire, I think she's about 5'7", 5'6". So her daughter Brianna is a lot taller than that. And I'd like to do Brianna. I think she's, even though a lot of people find her kind of annoying, she's one of my favourite characters. So, and I don't necessarily have to like a character's personality to like them as a character, but I do actually like Brianna, and I find it kind of weird that loads of people don't. But anyway, I'm not really gonna tell many secrets about Outlander. I think that that's kind of unfair for those of you who haven't seen it and want to see it or want to read it, but I do highly recommend. I'm just going to give you a brief overview actually. It's the first book, or the first series, starts out when Claire Fraser, who I'm painting now, she is in the 1940s. She's just come out of World War II, and so was her husband Frank. She was a nurse in World War II, and I think Frank was a soldier. And so they go on their second honeymoon to Inverness to reconnect after the war. And during their trip to Inverness, Claire and Frank come across this stone circle called Craignadoon. And when Claire goes back to look for a specific plant, she ends up touching the stones and falling through time back to the 1740s? I'm not sure. And she ends up in a clan of sorts, as a sort of prisoner, sort of guest, I guess, and lots of stuff happens. And as you can imagine, you know, there are 8 books, the 9th book being written. A lot has happened since she first fell through the stones, and it's a lot, and it's very exciting. I really enjoy it. I've only really been into it for the past 2.5 to 3 years. I think 2.5, maybe even just 2. I don't know. It does feel like a big part of my life now, though, which is, you know, the way it happens. But these books have been published since the 90s, so I'm definitely late on the bandwagon. But it's definitely not a kind of book that a child should be reading anyway. So, you know, I definitely shouldn't have picked it up in the 90s. And it's definitely, with the show, I showed my mum the TV show, and there's one episode where these two characters have sex like 4 times, and it gets more and more graphic, and I'm like, Mum, I'm not going to be watching this one with you. You can watch it on your own. So just be mindful of that. There's quite a lot of graphic nudity, and it's definitely 18 plus, I guess. But it's very, very good, and I really like it. So the process of this I've talked a little bit about. A lot of my digital paints that you're going to see over the next, I don't know, year or so is probably just going to be me getting to grips with how to use Photoshop properly for digital paint, because I've used Photoshop before through my life, but how to use it for digital painting, and also how to digitally paint, how to use my tablet and everything, and how to do lots of different things. I didn't come to YouTube with this full set of knowledge on how to do everything. I am still an avid learner, and I know a lot of people, you know, even professionals, they're still learning, but I'm really am still learning. So I'm not going to repeat that in every video, because I know I say it quite a lot, but I think at the moment, at the beginning of this channel, it's quite important to stress that I know I'm not brilliant, and I know I have a lot to learn. But the whole point of this YouTube is to just share what I'm learning and share my process, and hope that you guys enjoy it too. And also to communicate and be in a community of other artists that are learning as well. You know, no matter what their skill set is, and that's really cool. So yeah, that's why this because one of the big problems I have is that I do rush my art. I don't, like, when I'm doing it traditionally, I don't wait for stuff to dry. Like, it's really a poor habit. And with digital paint, especially because at this point I think it was about 2 a.m, and I used to go to sleep at like 5 and wake up at like 2 in the afternoon, but I'm really not like that anymore. So being up at 2 a.m was kind of difficult. So I really got very lazy with this, and as you can see with this pattern, it's really quite lazily done, but exploring different ways to do things and work it out as I go along, really. But I definitely could have done better if I just spent a bit more time and was a bit more careful. But I think the other thing as well is that I'm afraid of spending so much time with it and still getting it wrong. Like I'm kind of a lazy perfectionist. Like I don't try because I just assume it's not going to be perfect, and I don't want that. Well, I really need to break out with that. I'm the same with that with writing as well. I struggle writing stuff at the moment because every single sentence I write I feel like has to be perfect, even though that's not how first drafts go. And this texture was quite lazy, but again, I'm learning different ways of doing things, and this is definitely one of those pieces that I really want to do a draw this again. I think that would be very, very interesting. So we're coming to the end of the video. We're just doing a few little bits here, trying to edit the face a little bit because it really wasn't looking how she looked a bit mean. But after that, it's the end of the video. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you guys watch Outlander or read it as well, please let me know. Be good to fangirl together. And if you like this, then let me know. If you have any critiques, then let me know. Other than that, I will see you guys later. Bye.